When Conor McGregor returned against Donald Cerrone, the pre-fight press conference was very different than Conor McGregor's usual pre-fight press conferences. It was very respectful, and even during the press conference at one point Conor McGregor said that there will be a lot of blood spilled on Saturday night, but it wouldn't be the bad blood. Then his next fight against Dustin Poirier, second fight, the rematch. It was very respectful, and if you ask, it was the most respectful build up ever, I think, in UFC history. With charity donation, exchanging each other business products. Dan Hooker, who fought Michael Chandler on the same card, he said that after the press conference he was really disappointed. He felt like he was in a parent meet. But once that fight was over, when Dustin Poirier knocked out Conor in the second round, Conor McGregor took things to a different level during the third fight. So yeah, you can say Conor McGregor have one of the most respectful build-up for a UFC fight and most heated build-up for a UFC fight against Habib Nurmagomedov. Things started heating between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor before their third fight when Dustin Poirier tweeted that Conor McGregor has still not paid the donation for the charity as he promised. Since then, he said a lot of things to Dustin, to different fighters, and I won't get into all of that. You all must know. But one recent habit of Conor McGregor is tweeting something provocative and then deleting it. But what if all of this is on purpose? So please be patient with me and let me explain. When Conor McGregor came to UFC, he was already a two division champion in Cage Warriors, which is the biggest MMA promotion in UK. And a lot of UFC fighter initially started from there. Recent signings are Paddy Pimblett and Ian Gary. So when Conor came to UFC, he used to fight on regular basis. He used to fill up in short notice fights as well. He literally fought everybody in UFC featherweight top 10. So when he was fighting two times a year, or you can say two or three times, then he was doing all those trash talking and getting those highlight reels knockouts or great performances. At that time, he did not have to do this kind of crazy stuff or say things because he was fighting two or three times, so things were fresh in fans' memory. And I'm not ruling out the possibility that he might have been struggling through some of the issue that you can struggle if you are such an elite athlete and go through back to back losses. And neither I'm saying that whatever does and he says that it's right or justified, that's a different argument. But since 2016, he has not been fighting regularly. But he used to that admiration, that adulation from the fans, being constantly talked about in media, and that all converted into the revenue that he generated for him and UFC. So he might not be consistent, but he still wanna fight. Deep down inside, he's still a fighter because whatever he built, starting from being a plumber, he built it through fighting with his both hands. He's still in his early 30s, and deep down inside, no matter how much money he has earned, he still is a fighter. So he knows that, and he knew as well between 2016 to 2020 that he will return at some point, and he did return against Habib, Cowboy, and Poirier. You see, pay per view buys for fight at UFC 229 was 3.5 million. It's the highest for UFC. For Donald Cerrone and second Dustin Poirier fight was between 1.3 to 1.4 millions. Estimated pay-per-views for UFC 264, and after UFC 264 as well, Dana White said that it crossed 1.8 millions. So even though he's deleting the tweets, yes, people are saying that he's trying to be relevant, but isn't that the point to be relevant? Because when he returns next time, when he is healed from his injury, there will be a lot of new people who would like to see him get knocked out. And you have to know, people remember bad things far longer than the good things. So, can you imagine like when he tweets something outrageous and media use it as a news, then he deletes it. Then how many people the second day would be visiting on his Twitter page to see the tweet but only to not find it there, then go through his Twitter page for 2 to 5 minutes. 1 month before the trilogy fight against Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor's Twitter follower number was 8.8 million. Now he has crossed 9 millions. He has been hitting out at UFC fighters who sits on broadcasting like Anthony Smith and Bilal Muhammad. He makes sure that they are mad at him at ESPN Plus. When he will make return next time, maybe at the end of 2022 or beginning of 2023, there will be a lot of fans, celebrities. If you remember, he did antagonized Machine Gun Kelly. So different section of media outlets making news about him every single day. If he really needs help and he is going through some problem, I really hope that he does get it. And he has all the tools and resources to get it. But I really wonder, like, does he really cares when he sits in his mansion driving luxury car, when he sees his children happy and set for generations? I really wonder if he will be thinking about the things he did or he said last night when he tweeted something. But he is making sure that people are remembering him either for bad or for good reason. With all the things that he has shared and done during all these years, but you can't deny the fact that he was a two organization, two division world champion. Whether he will be champion once again or not, but he is a genius. Not only an elite fighter, but excellent in marketing and promotion as well. He might have a different way of doing it, and sometime he can take it to extremes. But anyway, I would love to see him fight whenever he returns. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll keep updating more, and please subscribe my channel.